We have a minute and a half.
I didn't text them.
Minute and a half.
All I say is they didn't see me. No. That's just something that bothers me.
We'll see. Okay. Chop. Right on time.
I didn't know what university I wanted to go to, and during our university fair, Iowa State was the only one offering animal science pre-vet, so I was like, that's a sign, I'm gonna just go. Back on my island on St. Thomas, there's not much care for animals, so I figured this has got to be better, and that's kind of like what drove me to Iowa State.
I had an older sister that went here. I also knew of the Global Resource Systems major that's unique to Iowa State. And so after visiting with some faculty members and touring the campus, I just knew it was the right fit for me. I studied abroad my first semester at Iowa State. It completely opened my eyes to what the world is like and how there's so much more to learn.
The recruiting part really led me here. You know, I never in a million years would have thought that I would be in Ames, Iowa. I'm so grateful that I did. When you're a student athlete, you got school, you got practice, you got to work out. Having a daily schedule every day is very important.
Iowa State has a very good engineering program, understanding how electricity behaves and specifically electromagnetic waves. That was something that I was deeply interested in. I am a first-gen student. I think it is important for our family to continue breaking barriers.
I think about all the opportunities I've had within the marching band to serve as a student leader and now as a drum major, to lead a group of 300, 400 students, showed me what it means to lead with integrity and authenticity.
Innovation and entrepreneurship definitely wasn't something that I was looking for when I came to Iowa State, but I ended up finding the program. I'm always looking at different ways that we can solve problems and, being able to realize that that is innovation and that is entrepreneurship. Being a part of the Student Union Board for the past 4 years has given me leadership skills that I didn't really know that I had in me. Now I just feel really comfortable being in any space, adapting to any space, and tackling any problem.
As trips coordinator for Vets Without Borders, you help coordinate a trip. It's not every day that you help a bunch of students who want to go to vet school go all the way to Costa Rica and help with the veterinarians, the local veterinarians in the community there.
I'm really proud the way that I matured. I came here as a 17-year-old kid. Now I feel like I've grown up so much, and being able to have that diploma and have that experience that college gives you is huge.
I've been in choir for 4 years here at Iowa State, so I have a lot of memories singing with my choir.
It has been a lot of changes in this experience: professional growth, personal growth. The many opportunities that I see in the horizon are because I have been here.
Being a student at Iowa State has enabled me to be more confident, to be more outgoing, and to pursue my dreams.
This may be kind of simple, but I would just sum it up as joyful. I always have just felt so much gratitude and joy for all the experiences I've had here.
I'm gonna go with new. New means I get to learn about stuff, and that's exactly what I did at Iowa State.
I think that my family would be proud of me for carving my own path, being a strong woman in STEM. To be a cyclone is to be authentic to who you are.
Being ready to take on any different opportunities and different challenges that come your way.
Being ambitious and innovative and not being afraid to take risks.
Grit and hard work are the first two thoughts that come to my mind.
Cyclone is an honest person, very kind and welcoming.
As an RA Cyclone, it's definitely helping out those students or even parents who have questions, being that support system for them.
I've had so many opportunities over the last few years to just have fun.
My family say they're proud of me.
My family's always been there for me, and I'm really grateful for them.
Coach Campbell, he took a shot on me, he brought me here, grown me up in so many ways he'll never understand.
I'm really grateful for the time here and the opportunities here. I feel like I've developed as a human being more than I ever thought I would.
There's a lot of hands-on experience and opportunities that I had. I can't think of any other university I would have gone to that would have given me the experience that I have today.
Good afternoon. Iowa State University is pleased and honored to welcome the family and friends of our graduates to the Fall 2023 Undergraduate Commencement Ceremony here in Hilton Coliseum. Today's commencement ceremony recognizes recent graduates in Iowa State University's proud 165-year history of academics achievement, excellence, and service. The processional will begin with a presentation of the college banners by each college's student marshal, who will be accompanied by the dean and the student's university escort. The presentation of the college banners will be followed by the processional of our undergraduate candidates for graduation, who will process in as members of the delegations of their respective colleges. Members of the assembly may remain seated during the processional. At this time, it is our privilege to present to you Darcy Bonds, student marshal for the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. Darcy is accompanied by her university escort, Barbara Clausen, and by Dean Daniel Robeson. It is our privilege to present to you Derek Kinney, student marshal for the Ivy College of Business. Derek is accompanied by his university escort, Bruce Kraft, and by Associate Dean Valentina Salotti. It is our privilege to present to you Ian Munding, Student Marshal for the College of Design. Ian is accompanied by his university escort, Matthew Opink, and by Dean Luis Rico Gutierrez. It is our privilege to present to you Rebecca Patush, Student Marshal for the College of Engineering. Rebecca is accompanied by her university escort, Dr. Elena Kirilova, and by Dean Samuel Easterling. It is our privilege to present to you Ashley Yedlick, Student Marshal for the College of Human Sciences. Ashley is accompanied by her university escort, Carolyn Steckelberg, and by Dean Laura Dunn-Jolly. It is our privilege to present to you Anne Lent, Student Marshal for the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Anne is accompanied by her university escort, Michael Giles, and by Dean Beata Schmidtman. At this time, it is our privilege to present to you undergraduate candidates for graduation from Iowa State University. official beginning of our commencement ceremony, the University Mace, carried by Chief Faculty Marshal Dr. Robert Wallace, precedes President Wendy Winterstein. We ask that the candidates for graduation and the members of the Assembly to please rise as you are able for the procession of the members of the Iowa State University academic community, led by President Dr. Wendy Winterstein. And now, the presentation of colors by the Army Reserve Officer Training Corps Color Guard. Iowa State University is very pleased to introduce Allie Pauley as the Fall 2023 Undergraduate Commencement Student Vocalist. Ms. Pauley will sing our national anthem.
Please join me in singing our national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the
Please be seated. Graduates, family, and friends, I am pleased to introduce Dr. Wendy Winterstein, President of Iowa State University.
Good afternoon. I'm very pleased to welcome you to Iowa State University's Fall 2023 Undergraduate Commencement Ceremony. At this time, I would like to introduce members of the platform party. I ask that they please stand and remain standing until all introductions are made. Ms. Ruki Newhold Ravi Kumar, former Nerman family president of the Kansas City Art Institute and commencement speaker. Dr. Jonathan Wickard, senior vice president and provost. Dr. Peter Dorhout, vice president for research. Ms. Sharon Evans, associate vice president for student affairs and dean of students. Dr. Dan Grooms, Dr. Stephen G. Julesgaard, dean of the College of Veterinary Medicine. Ms. Sarah Bennett George, teaching professor of apparel, events, and hospitality management and faculty senate president. Dr. Jeffrey Johnson, Laura and Russ Talbot, endowed president and chief executive officer of the Iowa State University Alumni Association. Dr. Robert Wallace, associate professor of ecology, evolution, and organismal biology, and chief faculty marshal. Dr. Anne-Marie van der Zanden, associate provost for academic programs. Mr. Luis Rico Gutierrez, dean of the College of Design. Dr. Beata Schmidtmann, dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. And I would pause here for a moment and mention that this is Dr. Schmidtmann's last commencement ceremony, as she will be retiring from Iowa State University after a long service and leadership for Iowa State University. And I would ask for everybody to applaud Dr. Schmidtmann for her extended. Going on, Dr. Laura Dunn Jolly, Dean and Dean's Chair of the College of Human Sciences. Dr. Daniel Robeson, Endowed Dean's Chair of the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. Dr. Samuel Easterling, James L. and Catherine S. Melsa, Endowed Dean of the College of Engineering. Dr. Valentina Salati, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and Diversity in the Ivy College of Business. Ms. Hilary Zayo, Dean of Library Services. Dr. Jennifer Sukon, University Registrar. The faculty marshals for today's commencement ceremony, and the distinguished faculty. Please join me in recognizing them. Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you. On behalf of our university leaders, faculty, and staff, we are delighted to honor and celebrate our newest graduates of Iowa State University. Commencement is the most important and significant ceremony that our university holds. For our graduates, it represents the culmination of years of hard work, focused study, perseverance, and personal growth. For family and friends, it is a time to share in the success of their graduate and to be recognized for the wonderful support and care they have been provided through the years. And for Iowa State University, it represents the successful completion of our most important responsibility to society, providing a comprehensive education to prepare the next generation of scholars, innovators, and leaders. Graduates, you are joining a very special group of people who hold degrees from this renowned institution, We are so proud of you, and we know that you will continue to bring great pride to Iowa State University. Congratulations to all of you. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the keynote speaker for this afternoon's undergraduate commencement ceremony. With more than 2 decades of experience in the arts, design, culture, education, and nonprofit sector, Ruki Newhold Ravikumar brings a unique perspective and passion for reimagining the future of creative learning and practice. A proven administrator, educator, and thought leader, Ruki most recently served as the Nerman family president of the Kansas City Art Institute. Prior to that, she served in many leadership roles at the Smithsonian Institution, both in New York City and Washington, D.C. She previously worked in higher education at the University of Central Oklahoma. Originally from Chennai, India, Ruki received her MFA in graphic design from Iowa State University and her BFA in the history of fine art and drawing and painting from Stella Maris College in India. She also has executive certificates in business from Yale and Harvard universities and a certificate in museum studies from Northwestern University. She serves on the boards of the Winterhouse Institute and Harvesters, the Community Food Network. Ruki has served in multiple leadership roles for the American Institute of Graphic Arts, and in 2015, she was named an AIGA Fellow by the Oklahoma chapter. She has won numerous awards and recognitions, including the 2021 Design Achievement Award from Iowa State University's College of Design. Please join me in welcoming Ruki Newhold Ravikumar.
Congratulations, graduates, families, faculty, and staff. I have the honor and privilege of being your commencement speaker today because I am a proud alumna of this amazing institution. Thanks to the rich educational experience I had here, I have lived a beautiful and unusual life. I came to this institution more than 2 decades ago, chasing one thing: the freedom of choice. As a young woman from India, I felt as if all of my life decisions had been made for me based on what had worked for all of the women in my family. And all I wanted was the ability to choose my path, my own path, to make my own life decisions, to choose my career, to choose my life partner, and to make my own mistakes. When you're a kid, people ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And then they stop asking you that question. As a kid, I wanted to be Batman. And then I was told that was not a job for a woman. I even offended my grandparents once by wearing my underwear over my pants and ran around the neighborhood calling myself Batman. Adults tend to make things complicated sometimes because the adults in my life thought about Batman as a man, as fictional, and as an unachievable goal. But underwear over my pants was all it took for me as a child to make my dreams come true. I'm grateful to my spouse, Patty, who's here today, who continues to support my dreams and never allows me to settle. She helps me maintain my creative spirit, even when I sometimes take things apart and can't put them back together. I realize that nationally, the transformative capacity of higher education has been trivialized in recent times. We've gone back to the 1930s rhetoric of the purpose of going to college being to develop a workforce, while simultaneously we talk about our future being in artificial intelligence. The critics of higher education will sometimes call your diploma just a piece of paper, and that the real training might sometimes happen after you graduate in the real world. Well, I want to tell you that you've been in the real world this whole time. You've been maturing as a real person, learning who you are, who you might want to be, and what you might want to contribute to society. You've been making real connections with real people who you're sitting next to today. Some of you have already formed bonds with people, familial bonds, business bonds, and you've met longtime mentors and friends. Whatever you've learned in these last few years will serve as that strong foundation that you will build the future of everything else that you learn on. When I served as the acting Undersecretary of Education at the Smithsonian Institution, I had to step into the very large shoes of the late, great Claudine Brown, who said that everyone thinks they're an expert on education because they have one. In a truly well-designed higher education, and I stress higher education experience, you fall in love with your field. You go from being a tourist to a traveler. Your fluency in your field improves. You become more curious. You want to go off the beaten path. You want to have conversations with a stranger. Try things you've never tried before. To ask questions, learn through really experimenting, take risks, make mistakes. And yes, I made some big mistakes, huge mistakes. In the first few months after I arrived in Ames from India, I realized I made some big miscalculations. I didn't have enough money to make ends meet. I was food insecure for the first few months of my first year and really, really underprepared for my first winter in Iowa. I fell sick often, but my story is not unique. I know that there are many of you here graduating today who, like me, ultimately figured it out, and I'm proud of you. It took the kindness of people in the ISU community and the skills of professors like Ed Lehner and Lisa Fontaine. Professor Fontaine is here today. If you're here, will you please stand up and be recognized? I was Professor Fontaine's teaching assistant, and she was my major professor. Lisa Fontaine is why I cherish my diploma. She took the time to understand why design was important to me. She knew I had a voice, but my message was not clear yet. She made me speak louder, write clearly, sign up for things I'd never done before, and she even made me start assignments over. She knew I could draw well because I came from India with a hand-based tradition, and sometimes I relied too heavily on my drawing skills. There was this one time that I remember really well when I brought in these beautiful, detailed, hand-done drawings, and she put them aside, and she walked out of our room, our studio, and she brought in a big wad of paper towels from the women's restroom, and she asked me to sketch out my ideas with a fat Sharpie marker on these paper towels. My eyes instantly welled up with tears, and it seemed impossible because the fat Sharpie marker was just bleeding through these paper towels. But the more I worked with the Sharpie marker and these paper towels, my ideas actually got clearer and simpler. With Lisa, there was nowhere to hide. She was tenacious with revealing your ideas, and many avoided her classes because of her methods. But she helped expand my capacity in a way I never imagined. I became an award-winning designer, a tenured university professor. I served on national boards, worked at the Smithsonian, and even became the president of a college. But I also ziplined in Alaska and watched sea turtles nest on the coastline of Georgia. I went to Italy and saw Botticelli's paintings, and I'd only ever seen them as stamp-sized pictures in a textbook. I became aware of the immenseness of this world and my ability to make a contribution to this world. Some of you may have a very, very clear idea of what happens after graduation, but some of you may not. But never stop asking yourself, what do you want to be when you grow up? A lot of people will have advice for you, and a lot of people will have a sense of what your future could look like. But I repeat, no one is an expert on the future because the future hasn't happened yet. Be really, really stubborn about your goals, but be flexible about how you get there. I hope life surprises you as wonderfully as it has surprised me. Know that there's a difference between fear and embarrassment. Embarrassment, you can control. And then you'll learn that this is not actually a lot that you're afraid of. I wish you all the best. You are a cyclone. And when you accept your diploma, you join a community of people who invested in a world-class education from this institution, like me. And we are your first connection and support, no matter where you are. Remember, your higher education taught you to think, taught you to learn, and taught you to make connections between people and ideas. And that's what it has always taught you. And that never gets outdated or irrelevant. At this place, and it gives me goosebumps to date, I learned a lot about design here. I fell in love with design here, but I also learned a lot about myself here and what I'm made of. I hope you did too. That's what your diploma should symbolize. The mark of a good higher educational experience is when a graduate leaves self-aware and eager to keep learning more, not just about their field, but just because you're curious to learn more about yourselves and to contribute to the world. Because the human capacity to change, to make real positive change, lies in the human capacity to learn. Thank you, President Winterstein, for giving me this honor to be here and have this full circle moment. And congratulations, Cyclones.
Ruki, thank you so much for those words. Another round of applause for our commencement speaker. We will now hear from our student brass ensemble under the direction of Dr. Michael Galimo.
President Winterstein will begin the recognition of graduates, followed by the presentation of degrees.
At this time, I call upon Senior Vice President and Provost, Dr. Jonathan Wickert, to recognize those students graduating with distinction, those students graduating from the University Honors Program, and all of those with military service.
At this time, I would like to begin and recognize students who are graduating with distinction. At Iowa State University, grade point averages are based on a 4.0 scale. In addition to the notation in today's commencement program, this recognition also appears on the official university transcript and diploma. Those students graduating summa cum laude, or with highest distinction, have earned a grade point average of 3.9 or higher, and today they are wearing cardinal and gold honor cords. Will these students of highest distinction please rise so we can recognize you? Please be seated. Those students graduating magna cum laude, or with great distinction, have earned a grade point average of 3.7 to 3.89, and they are wearing gold honor cords. Will these students of great distinction please rise and be recognized? Please be seated. And those students graduating cum laude or with distinction have earned a grade point average of 3.5 to 3.69, and they are wearing cardinal honor cords. Will these students of distinction please rise and be recognized? Please be seated. On behalf of the university's faculty, I offer you sincere congratulations on your achievement. Next, I would like to recognize the students who are graduating from the University Honors Program. Students receiving this recognition have maintained a grade point average of at least 3.5, have shown initiative in developing their own individualized programs of study, and they've shown ingenuity in designing and completing an independent honors research project. Today, they are wearing a medallion. Will students graduating from the University Honors Program please rise as you are able? Please be seated. And finally, I would like to recognize all those in attendance today, graduates, family members, friends, and audience members alike, who have served, who are serving, or who will be serving our country in the military. We are deeply grateful for your commitment and service to our nation. Would those individuals please rise as you are able so that we may recognize and honor you? Thank you for your service, and please be seated.
Dr. Rickard, I now call upon you to present the candidates for bachelor's degrees.
We shall now proceed with the conferring of the undergraduate degrees and the awarding of diplomas. Will all candidates for the bachelor's degree please rise as you are able? President Winterstein, these candidates have successfully completed their prescribed curricula in their respective colleges. They have been recommended by the college faculty and by the Faculty Senate, and they are approved by the Iowa Board of Regents for the bachelor's degree.
In recognition of the satisfactory completion of your studies in your respective colleges and by the authority delegated to me by the Iowa Board of Regents, I confer upon you your bachelor's degree. As is tradition, I now ask all bachelor's degree recipients to move their tassels from the right side to the left side of their caps. Please join me. Please be seated.
The candidates from each college will walk to the side stairs, up the platform, and across the stage to be recognized. We will begin with the College of Design. Dean Luis Rico Gutierrez will present the college's student marshal to President Winterstein.
President Winterstein, Provost Wickert, we're honored to present our student marshal from the College of Design, Ian Munding, who is graduating summa cum laude with a major in industrial design. Ian is escorted today by Matthew Obing, Associate Teaching Professor in the Department of Industrial Design. While at Iowa State, Ian received the 4-year Exploration Award and Journey Award scholarships. He served as a peer mentor for the Design Studies 102 studio for 1 semester and was captain of the varsity Ultimate Frisbee team for 2 years. He was also a member of the Industrial Designers Society of America Iowa State chapter and the ISU Ski and Snowboard Club. Ian completed product design summer internships with Himali in Boulder, Colorado in 2022 and Trango in Lafayette, Colorado in 2023, focusing on sporting goods. After graduation, he will take time off to road trip around the Western United States before seeking a position as a product designer in the outdoor industry. Please join me in congratulating Ian and all of our graduates today. Congratulations.
Jonathan David Wasuko.
Phoebe J. Wagner.
Jenny Grace Hagg.
McKenna Paige Kirchhoff.
Emma DeMoss.
Hannah Caroline Conway.
Zachary Pavo.
Cale Matthew Murray.
Taylor Scanlon.
Gavin Curtis Harms.
Tori Meeks.
Carson Dion Van Weston.
Margaret Kelly Leinott.
Jasmine S. Lambert.
Zachary David Nezolillo.
Ryan Patrick Kodama.
Cristiano L. Drescher.
Zachary Richard Bush.
Marshall Frederick Overheiser.
Armin Hasanchevich.
McKenna R. Vandentop.
Nathaniel D. Stoltenberg.
Yasmin Alexis Evans.
Seth Thomas Vogel.
Kholoud Al-Kasram.
Audrey Nicole Sterling.
Nora Saad Al-Arifi.
Sophia D. Rosaduran.
Shua Ching Chen.
Peter J. Van der Zanden.
Next, graduates from the Ivy College of Business. Associate Dean Valentina Salotti will present the college's student marshal to President Winterstein.
President Winterstein, Provost Wickert, it is my honor to introduce the student marshal from the Ivy College of Business, Derek Kinney, who is escorted today by Bruce Kraft, Professor of Practice in the Department of Finance. Derek is graduating summa cum laude with a major in Business Analytics and Finance. During his time at Iowa State, Derek served as treasurer and then president of the Ivy Student Council, and as a peer mentor in the Ivy College of Business. He also participated in case competitions, completed the Jardine Leaders Academy, was part of the President's leadership class, and studied abroad in Seville, Spain. Derek was inducted into Cardinal Key, Iowa State's highest honor society. Derek held multiple jobs and internships throughout his college career. In the summer of 2021, he completed a data analytics internship at the Iowa Department of Transportation. During his sophomore year, he worked in the office of Iowa State's Senior Vice President of Finance, analyzing budget data. In the summer of 2022 and throughout the following school year, Derek was a data analytics intern for Land O'Lake. This past summer, he completed a financial analytics internship with State Farm Insurance. After graduation, Derek will work for Land O'Lake in Minneapolis, Minnesota. He will join their IT Talent Acceleration Program and complete 3 different job rotations in 2 years. Please join me in congratulating Derek and all our graduates today.
Dylan Thornton Crow.
Elena Sobolova.
Dylan Lee Hanrahan.
Zoe Lynn Durand.
Jaden William Crane.
Faith Bargelo.
Rafael Campello.
Sophie Rosner.
Albert J. Lewis.
Brandon R. Worley.
Callie Marie Frakes.
Daniel Everett Lee.
Damon J. Walhoff.
Samuel Stephen Rohrer.
El Sadiq Ali Abdelgader.
Tate Calvin Johnson.
Kaylee J. Harrison.
Jacob Dean Blasky.
Chloe Ann Williams.
David Andrew Ridout.
Macy Jean Wiederin.
Ethan K. Snedden.
Abby Jean Freoff.
Nicholas D. Schmucker.
Jacob John Gustafson.
James John DeBolt.
Zachary J. Prey.
Casey J. Linsenmeyer.
Jesse McGee Boland.
Kyle John Grossman.
Ethan D. Taylor.
Jack Michael Feeney.
Brandon Cole Johnson.
Anthony J. Aragon.
Cody J. Gwizdala.
Ketine Wu.
Kara Elizabeth Reed.
Cole John Hickman.
William B. Saunders.
Gabriel K. Weber.
Jonathan R. Valentine.
Joshua Vogt.
Fabian Rafael Vasquez Hernandez.
Ariana Kelsey Ramirez.
Cade Douglas Cunningham.
Taylor H. Pogemiller.
Andrew Michael Arvila.
Adrian Pablo Munoz.
Owen Michael Giesecke.
Megan Nicole Utterbach.
Jace Allen Archer.
Lillian E. Becker.
Dylan John Prinzel.
Lucha T. Snyder.
Colin John Carroll.
Austin Shomo.
Jordan Renee Ritland.
Brent Michael Johnson.
Miles David Green.
Erica Marie Johnson.
Kain Mio I Thine.
Autumn Renee Kabagua.
Trevor S. Klein.
Riley Eve McNaughton.
Christina Cassandra Poli.
Stella Rose Lure.
Olivia Grace Warren.
Daniel Patrick Richter.
Connor Allen Shimonic.
Jonathan Yuan Sovoth.
Brian Andrew Wadley.
Nathaniel L. Lichtai.
Reed E. Solheim.
Jacob Leo Stout.
Drake Thomas Wonder.
Austin James Breitbach.
Andrew James Christofferson.
Reagan Zoe Heckman.
Abby Elizabeth Bell.
Evan Couch.
Olivia Rose Badding.
Cale Edward Donkersloot.
Mallory Marie Bading.
Cooper Douglas Leonard.
Owen Thomas Anderson.
Carter Daniel Fludiger.
Caleb Daniel Thompson.
Taylor Ann Berg.
Luke Edward Peters.
Colin Anthony Gauk.
Aaron Logan Stocking.
Samuel Thomas Lovin.
Ryan Graff.
Michael W. Stoltenberg.
Bryce Lynn Rasmussen.
Nathan Michael Van Handel.
Allison Ruth Hertz.
Jared Michael Brooksfort.
Allison Joy Meyer.
William Perriott Spalding.
Shania Monique Burridge.
Grant Radakovich Fuller.
Shauna Lynn Apple.
Josiah P. Callio.
Sean Dario Roll.
Jackson James Gravy.
Vanessa Maria Challey.
Victoria Lee Norman.
Danielle Victoria Oberfell.
Maximilian Edward Camper.
Brandon Alexander Nitto.
Logan Benjagurtis.
Mackenzie Joe Rosenblum.
Austin W. Saikon.
Claire Sienna Varankun.
Linda T. Sun.
Melanie Marie Merhar.
Crystal Ramirez.
Tyler Marie Travis.
Abby Marie Patterson.
Brady Wilson Eberlein.
Allison Victoria Ostendorf.
Hunter Lovan.
Emily R. Thomas.
David A. Hermson White.
Hannah Jane Blackford.
Mary Kathleen E. Collins.
Jacob Michael Pringle.
Gage William Wilson.
Luella R. Gaskell.
Quentin James Winia.
Catherine Faye Markley.
Muhammad Akif Shazwan Muhammad Adli.
Seth Hamilton Phillips.
Benjamin Jing Yang Young.
Ahmed Gamar.
Christopher C. Kerslake.
Caleb John Carlson.
Brandon Michael Carins.
Dawson Allen Dorhout.
Jasper Dean Wilson.
Vinith Dugina.
Jacob Kim.
Shanmuk Savella.
Emma Cosgrove.
Ethan R. Mosul.
Brianne Louise Virden.
Rohan Mukherjee.
Zachary Allen Miller.
Noah Azim Burmeister.
Grant Douglas McHaleson.
Joseph Dawn.
Muhammad Khalid Al-Sabahi.
Harry Doan. Mara K. Al-Balushi.
And now, graduates from the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. Dean Daniel Robeson will present the college's student marshal to President Winterstein.
President Winterstein, Provost Wickert, it is my great privilege to present Darcy Bonds, Student Marshal from the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. Darcy is graduating magna cum laude with a major in horticulture and 2 minors, bioinformatics and computational biology, and design studies. She completed several internships to expand her plant breeding and research knowledge. Her undergraduate research experience led her to be a co-author on 6 publications and conference papers, and to give 7 oral and poster presentations with faculty members and colleagues. Truly an impressive amount of research for any undergraduate student. Darcy tripled the membership of the Horticulture Club, traveled to Costa Rica, and had a wonderful experience here at Iowa State. She is escorted by Barb Clausen, Department of Horticulture, Associate Teaching Professor, and Student Services Specialist. Please join me in congratulating Darcy, an excellent, fantastic representative of all the Cal students and our graduates today.
Ilva Ray Rasak.
Brennan James Lynch. Samantha Elizabeth Poppy.
Bryce Randall Bateen.
Caden Joshua Dewey.
Jacqueline Amara Redding.
Jacob A. Hall.
McKenna Lynn Dehuff.
Cade Matthew Sheary.
Kaylee Jordan Smith.
Cody Wayne Allendorf.
Simran Patel.
Bryce John Witham.
Kara McCutcheon.
Noah Matthew Hyder.
Christina Spiker.
Gabrielle Maria Rigdon.
Kylie Rosanke.
Alejandro Andres Gomez.
Logan Ellsbury.
Gisela Mercedes Pavon Meyer.
Caitlin Grow.
Alexis Ann Harlan.
David Allen Shipman.
Katie Foster.
Mark Edward Coverdale.
Madeline J. Crumans.
Kendall Lee Rudolph.
Cade Philip Hopkins.
Anna Rousey.
Paige Elizabeth Kershaw.
Laura Maria Mercado.
Kristen Rower.
Kathleen T. Meyer.
Emma Grace Froling.
Colin Alexander Malmberg.
Abigail Suzanne Padilla.
Olivia Nichols.
Rachel May Wagner.
Bryn Williams.
Holland Elizabeth Doran.
Maria G. Aguilera Torres.
Melanie Macado Torres.
Haley E. Rathnow.
Leslie Voles.
Megan Lynn Coberly.
Wyatt John Bailey.
Alexandra Cameron Oglesby.
Jacob Robert Letmansky.
Grace K. Spindler.
Rebecca Lynn Noe.
Blake Lee Price.
Riley Mayanne Lockhard.
James Elliott Fox.
Tiffany Marie Wing.
Spencer James Heckman.
Cassidy Faith Grove.
Dominic Joseph Barone.
Laricus Congius Greer.
Chandler Ryan Matos.
Tegan Rihanna O'Reilly.
Nicholas Edward Hanselman.
Younghoon Ryo.
Madison Ann Foster.
Oscar Javier Figuero.
Thomas Robert Witchker.
Emma Rose Bach.
Kylie Tegan Munar.
Tyrion Ann Tucker.
Caden Nieto.
Taylor Lee Adams.
Aiden G. Pierce.
Davis Henry Deisterbars.
Ryan Joseph Hooks.
Nicole Renee Wise.
Javier Herrera.
Jaislyn E. Robertson.
Eileen Cortez.
Leah Sue Wilcox.
Benny Lim Koksen.
Madison E. Leonards.
Samuel Ames Raitano.
Janetta Ray Pop Plotsky.
Spencer Glenn Haywood.
Jenna E. Eartham.
Adam Akira Shimamoto.
Kira Ann Reek.
Brendan Allen Lukacek.
Jaina Sanjita Misra.
Paige Nicole Hollenberg.
Grace Daniel Reese.
Tyrion Elizabeth Keel.
Tess Olivia Rose Kern.
Taylor Lane Neophotist.
Lilith Bridget Drake.
Samantha Ray Hanley.
Chloe R. Engelbrecht.
Nicole Gudenkoff.
Elisha Luke.
Michaela Brennan.
Caitlin E. Schooley Binney.
Morgan Andrew Tang.
Trinity Marie Vonama.
Taylor Patterson.
Paige Nicole Higby.
Ava Margaret Poncelet.
Madison Elizabeth Worrell.
Joseph Robert Jacobs.
Whitney Justine Winter.
Colby Winter.
Sungmook Kong.
Cotton Holdgraver.
Christian Rodriguez.
Kaylee Clark.
Emily Lorraine Ponzagrau Marker.
Sierra Wegener.
Margaret Clara Putnam.
Madeline Conan.
Lacey Rian Smith.
Ryan Michael Deegan.
Jalen May Vesterfelt.
Dylan Taylor.
Sarah Heather Blank.
Bailey J. Bartholomew.
Alexandra Michelle Cintron.
Cora Anderson.
Travis Jared Jurgens.
Emmeline Poles.
Bo Zhao Zhang.
Samir Omerovich.
Aaron Robert Gust.
Armando Soler.
Mitchell Paul Williamson.
Paola Rodriguez Valiente.
William August Clapper.
Rachel M. Wiederect.
Nathaniel Brock Drummer.
Ian Kiplagat Muindi.
Amelia Josephine Drake.
Nyla Aisha Smith.
Nisha Michelle Roya Acevedo.
Carlos Antonio Jimenez.
Laken Allward.
Josh Price Solinsky.
Megan Lynn Decker.
Matthew Stephen Thompson.
Abigail Rose Ross.
Evan Paul Kelly.
Jasmine F. Gaukel.
Raul Roberto Gonzalez Schmidt.
Grace Ann Lorette.
Nicholas John Truitt.
Cooper Jeremiah Hess.
Noah David Shank.
Kylie Ray Sequitney Darrington.
Alex Lee Cheney.
Fabiola Diaz.
Christopher Robin Pearson. Cooper Anthony Warner. Logan James Engebretson. Adam Jonathan Bird. Desiree Carmela Mignon. And now, graduates from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Dean Beata Schmidtman will present the college's student marshal to President Winterstein.
President Winterstein, Provost Wickard. The first student to receive a diploma from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences is our student marshal, Ann Lent, who is escorted today by Michael Giles, teaching professor in the Department of Music and Theater. Anne is from Carlisle, Iowa, and is graduating summa cum laude with a double degree in political science and international studies, while also concurrently pursuing her Master of Arts in political science. As a member of the Iowa State Jazz Ensemble and as a member of the Fraternal Values Society, Anne will absolutely leave her mark on Iowa State University. She has demonstrated leadership in her roles as the Alpha Delta Pi chapter president, vice president of public relations for the Collegiate Pan-Hellenic Council, and as a member of student government as its director of student affairs. Anne is a recipient of the Liberal Arts and Sciences Excellence Scholarship and the ISU Loyal Scholarship. She's also a member of the Cardinal Key and Phi Beta Kappa Honor Societies and a recipient of the Liberal Arts and Sciences Dean's Impact Award in 2022. These achievements, in addition to the many research opportunities Anne participated in, are a testament to her success in scholarship, leadership, and her expansive involvement within our community, the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, and Iowa State University. Our faculty describe Anne as someone who is driven and a genuine person. Her future plans are to complete her master's degree in political science here at Iowa State University and then to attend law school. Please join me in congratulating Anne and all of our graduates today.
Olivia Marie Brulette.
Quinn Alexandra Mooney.
Megan Noel Smith.
Isaac William Tenson.
Kaylee Ellen Baldwin.
Leanne Linda Skelton.
Kay Lynn Mundy.
Joseph Dufek.
Hannah Elise Ashley.
Adeze Ajiri.
Zoe Lee Fontanini.
Benjamin James Sampson.
Kelsey O'Brien.
Zoe McKay Nong.
Megan Grothaus.
Gracia May Cooley.
Christine Storley.
Emily Melissa Joan Tilton.
Jaden Cobb.
Madeline Laurie Joyce.
Shiva Nilakantan.
Matthew James Mercurio.
Patrick McCormick.
Palmer Curtis Dunn.
Allison Marie Lundberg.
Ethan Shea O'Connor.
Kara Green.
Anne Marie Rose Ramsey.
Emerson Nicole Moore.
Presley Lynn Mammon.
Elora White.
Madeline Noel Thompson.
Andrew Scott Clark.
Nathan Welch.
Alexander Thomas Clark.
Mackenzie Van Eman.
John Cameron Leftwich.
Jake Albert Garnett.
Morgan DeBoer.
Emmanuel R. Rasky Cochran.
Jessica Mao.
Cameron Richard Letary.
Taylor Huthorst.
Trevor Glee Jones.
Delaney Joe Ain.
Michael William Blank.
Sophia Maria Johnson.
Noah Jeffrey Lee.
Jillian Elizabeth Severin.
Lucas Jeremiah Erickson.
Marianne K. Aldrich.
Wilson Willoughby Goslin.
Madeline A. Bullion.
Edward Joseph Gibson.
Donald Lee Carpenter.
Kate Ann Hoheisel.
Monica Taro LeBron.
Macy L. Driscoll.
Zachary Paul Hodson.
Isabel Patricia Jean Elwood.
Tud Wak Bin Win.
Noel Hoskins.
William Henry Schulte.
Chloe Kite.
Evan Masuras.
Sydney Ray Sales.
McKenna Lee Flood.
Emma Marie Swoboda.
Zoe Davis Porter.
Anna Margaret Scott.
Kira Ortiz.
Hannah Marin Varble.
Elena Towers.
Chen Yu Go.
Sydney T. Sla.
Ter Shun Ung.
Sophia Pesek.
Roy Chin Ji Ku.
Lauren Walters.
Yin Hao Chung.
Anthony Bostwick.
Benedict Yao N. Neo.
Gabrielle Fitzgerald.
Wei Hearn Lim.
Lily Tiongsun Carey.
Andy Guo Zhenfu.
Lisa Ann Roberts.
Jason Lee.
Victoria Van Vorst.
Brett Hull Haley.
Christina Quattrokey.
Jayant Shah.
Cameron Curtis Black.
Luke Robert Zobel.
Bailey Van Dusseldorp.
Brendan Jordan Erdahl.
Partiv Ganguly.
Nora Al-Kashram.
Haley Cantrell.
Hamza Naeem Firoz.
Denai Nielsen.
Shine Paul Pasupelti.
Catherine Forster.
McKenna T. Beamer.
Jonah Hillman.
Nakota Rain Newman.
Amani Altal.
Caitlin Virginia Hawkinson.
Charles Raymond Hanneman.
Anna Marie Cayley.
Daniel William Coughlin.
Caitlin Megan Arnold.
Vital Ganesh Kamath.
Sarah Nicole Striley.
Nathan William Matthews.
Connor Michael Becker.
Michael Ian Tretter.
Noah Gabriel Berry.
McKenna McGarvey.
Amanda Camps Velez.
Rebecca Grace Gomez.
Emily Lynn Streb.
Andrew Lael Flory.
Jackson Robert Froscheiser.
Samuel Hauser.
Benjamin Eric Carlson.
Adam Matthew Potterbaum.
Sasha Alejandra Sedicio.
Ethan J. Beach.
Yasmin Yeraldi Gonzalez.
Miles Allen Jenkins.
Daniel Jin Cantrell.
Leah Christofferson.
Abigail Irene Durrell.
Ananda Marie Santana.
Michelle L. Myers.
Abigail Rose Byland.
Landry Lauren Elman.
Allison Shane.
Jorge Alfredo Leva.
Drake Johnson.
Hunter Dellis Long.
Samuel Poga.
Evan J. Moon.
Yesenia Gonzalez.
Alexander Matthew Foster.
Taryn Denver Marie Anderson.
Erica N. Buttenhoff.
Rebecca Alvarenga.
Caitlin Ann Harford.
Tristan Vercade.
Caitlin Marie Corpy.
Edward Castruita.
Zachariah Morris.
Nathan G. Beck.
Garrett James Mullendor.
Carson M. Givens.
James William Crump.
Benjamin Knabo.
Hongming Zhang.
Abigail Gowanlock.
Lane Alexander Lunsford.
Alexis Ann Hiltonen.
Brittany Marie Gray.
Kimberly May Raymer.
Claire Vilmont.
Josh Pierce.
Natalie R. Greenfield.
Sirius Sage Zadak Stanley.
Samantha Ann Zaputel.
Tracy Lynn Lamoureux.
Mackenzie Weimerskirch.
Jessica Margaret Tupy.
Joseph Paul Vondra.
Olivia Nicole Fergus.
Delaney E. Filling.
Natasha Pauline Garcia.
Aaron Drew Tedrow.
Shu Wei Tsui.
Dominic P. Bartles.
Mackenzie Claire.
Theodore James Terrick.
Abigail Claire Johnson.
Sean Joseph Cons.
Morgan K. Jameson.
Reese Jacob Monternock.
Quinn Cameron Dolan.
Sophia Rose Pike.
Tyler Thomas Conrad.
Emily Timmerman.
Bennett A. Suncarty.
Ryan Evard Nord.
Taylor Lors.
Alex Robert Doherty.
Kelly Dorwart.
Ethan Drew Shelton.
Elise May Hall.
Haley Wegener.
Brittany Dawn Lynch.
Elise May French.
Jens Patrick Jorgensen.
Sloan Louise Harris.
Allison Julberg.
Kwan Min Lee.
Duncan Robert Meyer.
Marlene K. Dornike Hayes.
Ana Maria Saka Denegri.
Garrett Russell Brooks.
Richard Mariano Salas.
Colton John Pestle.
Olivia Renee Rausch.
Tucker Bishop.
Alexa Price.
Sarah Marie Lemlin.
Evelyn Conejo.
John Patrick Clemens Swanson.
Madison Marie Kyle.
Nautica Anne Marie Bradley Norman.
Sean Robert Wesselman.
Camden Jacob Kuhn.
Austin Branyan.
James Eric Clark.
Brandon Michael Ernst.
Ethan Christopher Swain.
Olivia G. Glowy.
Denisa Katek.
Megan Bauer.
Hope Nicole Anderson.
Nancy Tran.
Catherine Rose Henning.
Daniel James Jacoby.
Musa Lundy.
Aaron Rotfuss.
Wyatt Joseph Edward Spawn.
Bradley W. Fluhop.
Ben Arthur Wolf.
Stefan Nicola Guzina.
Yash Sangram Desai.
Michael Robert O'Brien.
Braden Michael Walker.
Nathan McClure.
Kiara Constance Kamana Whittleson.
Sadie Smink.
Kiana Joe Hackett.
Morgan Alexis Sheder.
Jose Toro Santisteban.
Next, graduates from the College of Human Sciences. Dean Laura Dunn-Jolly will present the college's student marshal to President Winterstein.
President Winterstein and Provost Wickert, the first student to receive a diploma from the College of Human Sciences is our marshal, Ashley Yedlick, who is escorted today by Carolyn Steckelberg, Associate Professor of Practice in the Department of Human Development and Family Studies. Ashley is graduating cum laude with the Bachelor of Science degree in Family and Consumer Sciences Education and Studies following the Professional Studies option. She is graduating with a cumulative 4.0 grade point average. She's been on the Dean's List every semester, and she is academically ranked in the top 2% of her class. Her major gave her the opportunity to take classes across many of our college's departments, where she quickly earned a reputation as a highly self-directed student who was working toward improving lives through extension and outreach. She has held numerous leadership roles on campus, including serving as president of Iowa State Collegiate 4-H. After graduation, Ashley plans to pursue her dream career of working in Iowa State Extension and Outreach. Graduates of the College of Human Sciences combine strong academic rigor and hands-on experience with a passion for people. I know each of you will improve the lives of those around you in your chosen professions. Congratulations, Ashley, and to all our fall 2023 graduates.
Brandon Dean Schutte.
Aubrey Lynn Gibson.
Shelby Ann Christians.
Delaney Morgan Schauback.
Jessica Zuniga.
Kristen Elizabeth Rohde.
Brindy Arendando.
Carolyn Grace Steffen.
Reagan McElrath.
Christina Marie Garnett.
Kennedy Renschler.
Savannah Marie Baker.
Emma Kayleen Ludvigsen.
Carly Joe McMains.
Kylie Davis.
Lydia Rose Broadhead.
Brian Pena.
Heidi Marie Jensvold.
Bryce Wasick.
Caitlin Marie Warren.
Randolph Cuss.
Jocelyn Desiree Digby.
Luke Lehart.
Anastasia D. Nauman Larson.
Abby Rose Johnson.
Blake James Stewart.
Brendan Robert Ball.
Jorge Martinez.
Maddie Ruth Simons.
McKenna Marie Clark.
Grace Lilienthal.
Nicole E. Heaton.
Josephine Wee Lan Lee.
Keelan Shaman Bryant.
Shuong En Win.
Advait Anand.
Famran Faith O'Brien.
Gertrude Kara Schopfer.
Catherine Henkenius.
Olivia Ray Sorensen.
Megan Nicole Chebuhar.
Isabel Laney Devnich.
Natalie Helbling.
JC Aaron Witten.
Janelyn Olson.
Megan Marie Sheridan.
Christine Xie.
Anna Alexandria Borisenko.
Mia Rowe Nichols.
Alexa Marie Brinks.
Cameron Drummond Croy.
Emily Rose Sosinski.
Vanessa Shi Ming Chong.
Wyatt Michael Stuckey.
Hunter Drew Davenport.
Mason Thomas Johnston.
Thomas John Guerin.
Jacob Cook.
Nidia E. Garcia Rodriguez.
Joshua David Klingy.
Ethan Alexander Wolf.
Bianca Abigail Granados Rea.
Jenna Rose Ledbetter.
Audrey Grace Leo.
Victoria June Saigon.
Janie Lynn Fernald.
Addie Ray Grogan.
Hannah Lee Urich.
Mackenzie Sleeth.
Alyssa Angelique Rodriguez.
Catherine Bleeker.
Rory Ann Cruikshank Haywood.
Madeline Elizabeth Cox.
Sean Patrick Moran.
Gabriela Codina.
Brendan Michael Selberg.
Nicole Lee Guerin.
Cora Rose McAllister.
Paige McCracken. Gunnar Avis. Haley Alyssa Fillenworth. And finally, graduates from the College of Engineering. Dean Samuel Easterling will present the college's student marshal to President Winterstein.
President Winterstein, Provost Wickert, it's my privilege to present the student marshal from the College of Engineering, Rebecca Padish from Illinois. Escorted by Dr. Alina Kiriluva, Rebecca is graduating with honors, highest honors, with a 3.96 GPA in material science engineering and a minor in biomedical engineering. Rebecca completed a co-op experience with Collins Aerospace and participated in research projects with 2 different MSE faculty members. She served as a teaching assistant, a lab mentor, and president of the award-winning Material Advantage student organization. And she made time to study abroad in Torino, Italy. Rebecca was a resident assistant for 3 years and spent time organizing and volunteering at outreach events for young women and students in STEM. Please join me in congratulating Rebecca and all the graduates in the College of Engineering.
William Peter Brum.
Isaac Michael Bittner.
Manuel Alejandro Perez Colon.
Adam R. Curtis.
John Luis Gonzalez.
Hannah Grace Nelson.
Ainara Beatriz Machargo.
Jessica Ann Melville.
Selma Sarek.
Eduardo Contreras.
Michael Lynn Brock.
Riley Allen Millum.
Zachary D. Getting.
Dominic Daniel Abbott.
Carter Spohr.
Alexis Grace Lawler.
Sylvia Silikowski.
Jonathan S.T. Papiane.
Paige Wogan.
Gary Lane Norris.
Charlotte Bruchel.
Devin Matthew Turner.
Alec Henry Matzat.
Mark Robert Degler.
Marsha Lebedeva.
Chelsea Leanne Davis.
Connor Osborne.
Larry Trin.
Jarrett Losky.
Stephen Michael Tomperi.
Aaron Peters.
Chiara Alyssa C. Santa Maria.
Nicholas Daniel Neto Santana.
Trevor Dylan Formanek.
Jacob Verhelst.
Bryce Michael Coles.
Rowan Putman.
Kevin Verschoor.
Madeline Elizabeth McMahon.
Cade Carmen Breeding.
Grace Margaret Sickmiller.
Eric William Boyd.
Megan L. Hellman.
Michael August Boyke.
Patrick Joseph Demers.
Mark Allen Lloyd.
Andrew Dean Thompson.
Juan Jose Matson Vianney.
Garrett Campbell Fields.
Mateus Wendell Burns.
Noel Preslichka.
Zachary Richard Mervold.
Andrew Crawl.
Samuel Philip Killian.
Chihao Fong.
Ilian Farbman.
Emil Albert Kumchi.
Alexander Logan McAvoy.
Muhammad El Basir El Tijani.
Britton Samuel Bowman.
Oik Kwan.
Cole Gregory Shekel.
Xin Yen Liang.
Tyson G. Prentice.
Kylie Christine Cooper.
Alex Reed Blomquist.
Liana Catherine David.
Drayton A. Vanderwerf.
Chong Yi Xian.
Benjamin T. Robinson.
Sydney Joe Thompson.
Nathaniel Christopher Hayes.
Jackson Davis Ferguson.
Matthew Benjamin Floyd.
Alec Rosentrader.
Kristen Jane Nathan.
Eric R. Exner.
Brendan A. Mass.
Meredith Ann Bunker.
Braden David Drugmiller.
Martin Andrew Klein.
Christopher James Clark.
Edgar Orejuela.
Matthew J. Woo Kim.
Ahmed Maged Garib.
Lane Kendall Meter.
Brandon Dreyer.
Luke Thomas Colleget.
Thaddeus Direz.
Alex Andrew Still.
Frank L. John.
Andrew Lane Fulcher.
Ryan Foster.
Anthony David.
Tyler Smith.
Christopher Robert Shell.
Ben D. Gardner.
Brennan C. Seymour.
Isaac Nathan Bibas.
Evan Michael Olmeyer.
Jorge Giovanni Ortiz.
Christian M. Boughton.
Matthew Otterson.
Daniel Shea Chrisman.
Zachary Daniel Hirsch.
Mason Richard Carter.
Caleb Thompson.
Patrick Brian Brzezinski.
Hassan Reif.
Kaya Jean Christopher Cropperson.
Luke Henry Timmerman.
Olivia Joe Crook.
Ethan Gabriel.
Evelyn L. Moyer.
Chase Ivan Thompson.
Ellie Grace Dearson.
Caleb Luke.
Nicholas Robert Felbinger.
Garrett Thomas Powell.
Lucas Matthew Baker.
Justin Gage Zadvatsky.
Charles Wyatt Gavin.
Justin Pullman.
Trevor Paul Clippen.
Inkechinyere Ruth Igwe.
Aditya Karnam.
Robert Zukowski.
Harshil V. Bodapati.
Blake Clemmy.
Rachel Hans.
Zachary Dale Drum.
Taylor Madison Warnicki.
Valerie Manser.
Hunter William Mockintoon.
Allison Lucinda Cordelia McDonald.
Andrew Christian Barloon.
Faith Moss.
Andrew J. Lewandowski.
Jamie Danielle Preston.
Yadiel Santana Johnson.
St. Keth Sampath Narman Nada.
Logan Daniel Anderson.
Steve Lee.
Nicholas K. Morgan.
Owen Leif Lombach.
Anthony G. Teslenko.
Ben Holmes.
Christopher James Stover.
Cole Boran.
Logan John Helm.
Joseph Schendel.
Ashlyn May Williams.
Marcus Clemmy.
Ellen W. Kirkpatrick.
Kyle Owens.
Kyle Edward Evers.
Nathan Rowan Krewald.
Jack Knox.
Ryan Joseph Mossinier.
Jared David Staskell.
Casey Dean Jacobs.
Daniel B. Brockway.
Matthew Allen Greiner.
Michael G. Rossbach.
Riley Hogan.
Trace Jonathan Anderson.
Grace Ledvina.
Michael Nicholas Tallman.
Victoria Fleming.
Matthew H. Clark.
Catherine Lyseth.
Yariel Salinas Reyes.
Evelyn Kelly.
Michael William Hodel.
Benjamin Paul Quad.
Garrett Thomas Aesop.
Charles Hoskins.
Tyler Dean Reese.
Samuel Glockner Haley.
Ethan J. Baranowski.
Charles Isaac Brumbaugh.
Jacob Connor Raby.
Hussein Mohammed Asadig.
Mohammed Alamudi.
Diwash Thapa.
Draven Romano Ramirez.
Christian Irwin.
Hadahari Nayeli Marcias.
Jameson Owens.
Jessica Ann Sosinski.
Sharon Ratchi.
Ella Devali Knott.
Joseph Alex Schmidt.
Rudolph Antoine Nara.
Nicole Marie Lorang.
Aiden Lee Peterson.
Brooke Elizabeth Steino.
Caden Charles Wortman.
Kaylee Ann Holthouse.
Jackson McGuire Hafley.
David Thomas Joyce.
Jacob Charles Meyer.
Kyle James Kelly.
John James Lee.
Samuel William Borner.
Mason James Parks.
Ryan Patrick McDermott.
Cooper J. Lind.
Ryan Gerald Smith.
Enrique A. Campos.
Ethan Speidel.
Hunter Underwood.
Grayson Tran.
Will Nicol Galis.
Maggie Tepfer.
Gregory Theodore Ling.
Riley Kennan.
Daniel James Dewar.
Jake Roskoff.
Benjamin Andrew Taylor.
Jonathan Hera.
Joseph L. Hubert.
Matthew Laws.
Riley J. Lawson.
Samuel George Rettig.
Cassidy R. Carlin.
Arik Bomick.
Samuel A. Sakota.
Joel Tobin.
Brandon Tyler Lemmy.
Teresa Adriana Wijaya.
Alejandro Zafra Jimenez.
William Adam Parton.
Frank Bailey Matty.
Donna Wynn.
Maxwell James Lang.
Zane Eston Stocks.
Harrison Edward Green.
Eric William Diaz.
Christopher Kin Espinoza.
Trevor Allen Ketchum.
Evan William Walters.
Andrew Jeffrey Guth.
Colin Nicholas Frank.
Mitchell Stephen Wendler.
Andrew Cole Baranski.
Michael Wieland.
Tyler N. Cummings.
Chase A. Field.
Andrew Michael Habercorn.
Annika Kate Miller.
Nikolai Yosef Malinsky.
Frank Sullivan.
Jack Robert Sloyan.
Laith Almandani.
Madison Renee Parks.
Aaron Schoen.
Evelina Hope Grimaldi.
Nathan Kopp.
Andrew James Dorang.
Lucas Seegers.
Ethan Thomas Penny.
Eric Christian Leddit.
William Edward Skinner.
Nathan Carl Osberg.
Michaela Lynn Evans.
Wee Sian Ko.
Grace Elizabeth Boostrom.
Sophie Waterman Jinez.
Nathan Allen Helgerson.
Dominic Lim.
Kurt Jacob Braz.
Maxwell Robert Weber.
Ian Brendan Dalton.
William J. Coakley.
Faith Ann Burrows.
Nathan Ayers.
Laura Andrea Mejia Toledo.
Matthew Edward Caron.
Camille Rose Kramer.
Joshua Thomas Thater.
Charles Gabriel Hafner.
Kyle Gobin.
Nathan Andrew Trotter.
Connor Clyde Chua.
Nathaniel David Ferries.
Jack Bololi.
Peyton C. Schneier.
Braden Hewen.
Trevor J. Hansen.
Reed Sears.
Carson Scott Hagberg.
Alexander A. Pulido.
Justin Merkel.
Celeste Catherine Einhart.
Evan Parker Kilstrom.
Pierce C. Harrington.
Isaac Anthony Plambach.
Luke John Vathing.
Samuel Thomas Shophorst.
Joel Gerard Neppel.
Daniel Alexander Stinson.
Fu Thien Nguyen.
Chase Joseph Brunworth.
Parker Allen Lloyd Holbert.
Tom John Thomas Sr.
Nicholas Bruinsma.
Samantha Claire Guido.
Tom Nolan.
Abigail Nicole Zampano.
Matthew Zarnowski.
Owen Patrick McAuliffe.
Zach Lewis.
Soren Berg Wagstrom.
Lucas Johns.
Alan Wang.
Matthew Morton.
Kundan Pudel.
Tyler James Lee Rolston.
Benjamin C. Amick.
Samuel Conrad Tomic.
Jeffrey Lynn.
Alec Benbow.
John Lawrence Dickens.
Cole Y. Hanna.
Nicholas Hector Faith.
Ruo Chen Chong.
Nicholas Miles Yowell.
Thomas C. Lobianco.
Jordan Alexander Macias.
Jad Adam Carter.
Deanna Marie Nelson.
Asta Upaduyaye.
Joel Kermit Carlson.
Vaidane Bahirat.
Jacob S. Randall.
Mateo Ramirez.
Maverick Daniel Todden.
Drew D. Clark.
Zachary James Eaton.
Ryan Michael Voland.
Ryan Michael Farrell.
Luis Hernandez.
Kyle Thompson.
Brandon Louis Lewis.
Derek Lamont Wright.
Wen Chin Wu.
Regasa Haro Ducale.
Rodrigo Romero.
Edward Babatunde Owetola.
Michael J. Lawler. Samuel R. Brady. Jason Taylor Godey. And Aaron Edward Hendricks.
On behalf of the entire university community, I extend my sincerest congratulations to all of our graduates. We wish you the very best, and we look forward to hearing from you about all of your accomplishments. Another round of applause for our graduates. Now it's my pleasure to introduce you to Dr. Jeffrey Johnson, Laura and Russ Talbot Endowed President and CEO of the Iowa State University Alumni Association. He will welcome you as the newest alumni of Iowa State University.
Thank you, President Winterstein. Greetings, Iowa State University's newest alumni, members of the class of 2023. You are now mine. How cool is this? You are now officially Cyclones for life. You now carry the official title of Iowa State University alumni. You are now one of us, and as we say at the Iowa State University Alumni Association, welcome to the after party. And I have more good news for you today. Beginning today, each of you will receive a free, already paid for, one-year gifted membership to the Iowa State University Alumni Association. This membership will provide you access to all the benefits, services, and opportunities connected to the association. But please allow me to tell you how and why this free gifted membership happened. A group of generous alumni, close to 1,000 of them to be exact, came together during this year's Cardinal and Gold Gala event in Des Moines, and other alumni from around the world through the association's Sustaining Donor Program. They all made financial gifts to purchase a one-year gift membership for every member of the class of 2023. That's right, every single one of you are eligible to receive this free one-year already paid for membership in the association. I think that deserves a round of applause. To make this offer official, there's one thing the donors of these free gifted memberships ask the association to do, and one thing they ask the graduates to do. As to the association, we were asked to make it as easy as possible for you to access and accept these free gifted one-year memberships. Of you, they ask that you activate your free gifted membership, and you can do that as soon as possible by scanning the QR code that is on the back of the insert that is inside your diploma cover. Please do so today or by December 31st. You also will be sending you an email with this information as a helpful reminder. All I ask is that you do not delete my first email to you. Once you activate your free gifted membership, you will gain access to the online alumni directory, which will connect you with alumni in your community. It will also add you to the mailing list for the Iowa Stater Members Only magazine and will give you access to online discounts, the opportunity to receive new grad tip sheets and programs, and as well as special member invitations. Today, you join the ranks of more than 284,000 Cyclones everywhere who are making their communities and the world a better place. These Iowa Staters live in all 99 counties of Iowa, all 50 states of the United States, and in more than 153 countries. Being university alumni is a statement of accomplishment. It means you have a bona fide relationship to a place and are linked to its future. Your and Iowa State's identities are now mutually intertwined. You also get to decide how this relationship matures, and you will use it to advance your goals and Iowa State's aspirations. So I want you to remember these last 5 things. Number 1, no matter what you do or where you go, you will always be a member of this prestigious higher education family. This university and all who work here will always be interested in what you do, how you continue to contribute to society, and what you become. Number 2, make Iowa State visible in your daily life. Wear your school colors, sport a license plate or a license plate cover, hang your diploma, and place an Alumni Association membership decal on your vehicle. Like me, by doing these simple acts, you're sure to connect with other Iowa Staters. Third, alumni help fund building projects. They invested in your faculty and your programs. They also invested in you through scholarships, study abroad opportunities, and internships. You and the alumni of the future will largely determine what your children, your grandchildren, and others find when they matriculate to Iowa State. When you are able, please consider giving back as well. Number 4, keep in touch. Come back to visit campus. Take road trips with your college buddies and join a local alumni club. If you have a change of address, be sure to let the association know in order that we may put you in contact with other alumni in your new community. Finally, renew that free gifted membership a year from now when you activate it. You're going to want to stay an active member. So in closing, and with every good wish for your success, your health, and your happiness, on behalf of the staff and the board of the ISU Alumni Association, we look forward to becoming partners with you in helping you advance your careers, enhance your degrees, stay connected to your colleges, support your alma mater, and network with Cyclones everywhere. And don't forget to activate that free gifted membership before December 31st. Congratulations again, class of 2023, and remember, you are Cyclones for life. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Well, we're nearing the conclusion of the Fall 2023 Undergraduate Commencement Ceremony. I want to again thank our commencement speaker, Ruki Newhold Ravi Kumar. Thank you for your wonderful remarks to our graduates. And now I want to offer my personal congratulations to all of today's graduates. We are extremely proud of you and all of your accomplishments. Your Iowa State diploma is the culmination of rigorous coursework, hands-on learning, and life-changing experiences both inside and outside of the classroom. It is a symbol both of the university's excellence and your hard-earned academic achievement. Thank you for making this a memorable day, and thank you for making Iowa State an important part of your personal and professional journey. Before we close today, we want to recognize the hard work of all those individuals who have supported these graduates, the faculty and staff, family members, and the many friends. I ask the graduates to please rise and remain standing and find your family and friends in the audience and thank them for their support. Would graduates please rise? Thank your family and friends. And I ask the family and friends to please rise as well and remain standing and thank these graduates for their hard work. And would everyone please remain standing as we conclude this wonderful ceremony with the singing of the bells of Iowa State by student vocalist Miss Allie Pauley. And with that, I pronounce the Fall 2023 Undergraduate Commencement Ceremony at close.
Please join me in singing the bells of Iowa State. You can find the music on the back of your programs.
Thank you.